What's up? It's your boy Hustle's Home, and I'm back with another one. And today we're gonna do a little fight prediction between Frank Martin and Michel Rivera. See, the reason why I'm giving this fight some extra press is because simple. It's a fight that I wanted to see. It's a fight that was very unexpected. Fight between two very good up and coming fighters in the 135-pound division. Now, this fighter is very special considering the fact that you usually don't get a fight of this guilt this early. We got Frank Martin, the 5'8" southpaw. You know what I mean? He got the 68-inch arms. He very sharp. When I went and I looked at did the film study on Michel Rivera's last opponent, who was Jerry Perez. I come to find out because Jerry Perez was 14-1 when he fought Michel Rivera. Come to find out, his one loss was against Frank Martin. So you know what I did? I went back and I watched the Frank Martin versus Jerry Perez fight. And at first, when I watched the Jerry Perez versus Jerry Rivera fight, I was very highly impressed with Michel Rivera and how he was fighting against Jerry Perez, because Jerry Perez is not a bad fighter. He's a he's a really good fighter. You know, I don't think he's champion level, but he's gonna be a tough outing for anybody. You know, when I watched the dang on Michael Rivera fight, Jerry Perez was doing a very good job at landing some punches against Rivera to the point where he it went the whole 12. Um, Michael Rivera won by unanimous decision. But when I watched Frank Martin fight the same fighter a year ago, he it wasn't the same fight when I saw Rivera fight him. You know, Frank Martin is very sharp jab. Frank Martin has a very good ring IQ. He is very basic, but with all the basics, he is very disciplined. He's extremely disciplined. He's like a pocket Earl. But the thing I give him that Earl don't do is Frank Martin's got a different identity than Earl because he throws combination punches. Like he throws a lot of combination punches if he think that you don't belong in the ring with him. He's gonna make you feel like you should not be in the ring with him. He is not gonna allow you to finish the fight. Just like when he fought Romero Dunno and Jackson Martinez in his last outing. Um, at first, upon watching the Rivera fight, I was thinking that he's gonna be extremely tough for Frank Martin, but I think I want to change my decision and say Frank Martin gets him out of here at in about 7 rounds. I think Frank Martin has a very crisp jab. I think Frank Martin extremely disciplined. He follows the game plan. He's not an emotional fighter. He's also a southpaw, and although Michelle Rivera has a 4-inch arms reach advantage over him, I still think that Frank Martin's jab is going to be more educated and more crisp than Michelle Rivera. Even though Michelle Rivera is very disciplined, like Michelle Rivera is a good fighter. He does do the 1-2. You know, he is fundamentally sound. But I think the thing that's gonna separate the two is Frank Martin's extremely high athleticism. His athleticism and is gonna be the thing that separates Michelle Rivera, because Rivera at times when he engages, he gets flat footed when he engages. And whenever his energy goes down, he turns to a traditional flat footed, high guarded fighter. Even though at times, like if whenever he was fighting Jerry Perez, he never got undisciplined. But at times when there was a situation where he take the rounds off, I don't know if he was taking the rounds off or he got lulled in the trap of standing in front of Perez, but he does that. That's something that I don't see Frank Martin doing. Frank Martin sticks to the script. And I think in the later rounds, around five, you're gonna see the difference in between Frank Martin's constant um, um, educated pressure, and it's gonna be too much for Michel Rivera. Um, I got this fight. Yeah, I got Frank Martin knocking him out 7th or 8th round. Even though it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a tough fight up until about. I think it's gonna be a tough fight up until about the 5th or 6th round. I think Rivera is gonna start crumbling to some body shots. The uppercut to the body is what I'm thinking is gonna be the difference. It's gonna be a counter uppercut to the body. It's gonna be what puts Rivera in a bind. And I don't know how he's gonna knock him out because whenever he was fighting Perez, he put Perez in a bind with the jab, you know. And when it was time for him to defend the jab, Frank Martin hit him, boom, hit him and knocked him on his ass. But this is gonna be the fight that takes Frank Martin to the next level. I don't think Frank Martin's ever gonna fight the likes of Devin Haney or likes of Tank Davis. But I do think that in the future, the Frank Martin versus Shakur Stevenson fight needs to happen. If he's that impressive, if he's as impressive as I think he's gonna be, I think his next fight should definitely be for Stevenson. Because Shakur Stevenson is having a hard time getting fights. Even though he haven't even been at the 135-pound division, he has 0 fights in the 135-pound division. Like 3 people already done ducked him, including the likes of Jr. And I understand why George Kambosos Jr. would not take that fight. Because if George Kambosos Jr. went from Teofimo Lopez to Devin Haney 2 times to Shakur Stevenson, that would technically be the end of his career. Even though I would give him all the props in the world for taking that fight, he really, let the man heal back up. Of course, Cruz, he turned the fight down too. So I feel like Frank Martin wouldn't be the type of person to turn the fight down. I don't think Michel Rivera would be the type to turn the fight down either. If they get past whoever get past each other in this fight, I feel like they definitely should be calling out Shakur Stevens. The only difference is Michel Rivera is 24, Frank Martin is 27. Michel Rivera could definitely afford this L, especially considering he's only 24 years old. He can afford this L and still be able to build back up. Frank Martin is he's a little older, but at the same time, he's really early in his career. He's at 16 fights, considering he took on boxing later on in life. So I don't know. He's young in his career, and Michel Rivera is young. Period. He's young in life. So to me, the next fight, whoever they fight, whoever wins this fight should definitely call out for Steve, because they ain't gonna get no shot at no title. If you want to keep it hot, they not gonna get no shot at the title. They not shot at Devin Haney. So, and they definitely not gonna get no shot at Lomachenko if Lomachenko and Devin Haney don't fight. Because I got a feeling that Lomachenko and Devin Haney may not happen. But don't forget to hate, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Hustler Song. Thank you and have a nice night.